do it live.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the lounge. Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm doing well, Ralph. How are you doing tonight?
I'm all right. Things are a little weird out there.
Oh, well, you know,
you got ice out there in the streets.
I know, that's kind of the standard, you know?
Got my favorite comedian going to Saudi Arabia. I don't know what I'm going to do. I
I hear you,
know, you never... First it was Louis C.K., who I adored.
Yeah, he was a funny guy. Issue.
Now this guy, what's his
Bill
name?
Burr.
Bill Burr goes to Saudi Arabia.
It seems like a weird move for him, to be
does
quite
too.
frank.
He was such a... He was a guy. He's a bit of a hypocrite now because he was a guy that would yell at people for doing exactly what he's doing, which is going over there, being told what he can say. And, he said it's only 3 things, but I don't know. I'm just
really because I saw another comedian who was like, I didn't have to submit anything. I could do exactly my jokes.
There's no way. Do you think they could talk about bone saw or anything like that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Or women being, whatever. Anyway, so I never met Bill Burr, but it would. To meet your heroes or to have heroes, it's like, what's the point anymore? Because everybody fails you. Everybody fails you.
Not everybody.
Yeah. It's celebrity failures. All right, anyway.
Robert Redford didn't fail us.
He did not fail us.
He did not fail us.
He didn't get us a lot of views. Speaking of that, all right, I don't ever mention subscribing and hitting the like and all that. I show it.
Right.
Calmly, and, I just let it happen.
There,
But I'm begging now for subscribers.
It'd be nice to get a couple
I want to get up. We're about 2,900, 29. We're close to 3,000.
We're like at 2.99.
Yeah, so we're very close.
We're very close. So if any of you happen to run across this,
we're begging.
Why don't you just go ahead and click that subscribe
Call
button.
your friends. Click. Respect your elders. That's all I'm going to say.
Exactly.
I know people don't want to hear old people talking about movies. I get it. I get it. But come on, just get us over the 3,000 hump.
Exactly. That'd be nice.
That'd be nice. All right. And comment, too. That's the other thing. Good or bad. If you hate our show, comment. I don't care.
Tell us.
Suggestions on movies we want to do, because normally we do the five things. We did that the other day. Redford, we did.
Yeah.
And by the way, we missed The Natural. There was some we missed.
Well, there's a lot.
It's amazing. It is. When you limit it to 5 each, it's hard.
Exactly. It's very hard.
But tonight we're going to talk about Paul Thomas Anderson's
One Battle After Another.
One Battle. Finally, thank you for reminding me. I can never remember that name. All right, One Battle After Another, starring
Leonardo DiCaprio,
Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn.
I
don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know the woman's name. The young woman.
The young woman's name. The woman
She's
who plays
got a great name. Chase something.
Chase Infinity.
Chase Infinity. That's
which
right.
Is
great name.
It's like. That is a great name.
It's a great name.
Yeah, and she was great in it.
Regina Hall. I don't know the woman who played Hollywood.
God, you mean Perfidia Beverly Hills?
Beverly Hills, that's right.
Perfidia Beverly Hills. Yes.
She was good too.
Yes.
The table. Well, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
The table of the Christmas. What was the name of it?
The Christmas Adventurers Club.
By the way, we're going to spoil this because
we're going to spoil
nobody's watching our show anyway, so we're going to spoil it.
All right, if you haven't, and I will say this: this is one of those rare movies that I will say this: if you haven't seen this movie, it's worth checking out before listening to what we're going to say about it.
Oh, you're addressing directly.
I'm talking direct. I'm right into the camera.
I love that. Paul Thomas Anderson,
PTA,
PTA, Boogie Nights, Magnolia.
There Will Be Blood.
Heart 8. Was before Boogie Nights. Great movie. Good film.
I've seen that. Yeah.
I have not seen Punch Drunk Love.
I've seen that.
I have not seen The Thread, Phantom Thread.
Phantom Thread I have not seen.
With Daniel Day-Lewis again.
It's supposed to be great.
Licorice Pizza I haven't seen either, which I
saw
do
that
want
recently.
To see. Okay. So Maria and I went and saw this the other day. You saw it the same weekend, I think.
Yeah.
Did you go to Silver Spring?
No, I did not. I wanted to. I just didn't have the time to drive down to Silver Spring.
Yeah.
Where the AFI Silver is there. They were literally showing like a 70 millimeter print of this month. It would have been beautiful. But unfortunately, I only had time to just run out to the local multiplex.
Yeah. There was the Egyptian.
Yes, the Cinemark Egyptian.
That's where I went. It was a big screen. It was good.
Well, the one that I went on, the day that I went was one of those days that Taylor Swift was doing her record premiere thing. And just to throw this out here, I counted up on that Saturday how many showings. Now, granted, it was only 90 minutes. They were not showing trailers. There were 33 showings of that on Saturday alone. Now, it was only Friday and Saturday, but there was 33 showings. So you can tell, I was in a small theater, but it was packed.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, don't get me wrong. The theater was small, but it was one of those things where I chose a seat. By the time I got there was a guy on my left. There was another guy on my
we
right.
had the same issue. I purposely picked so I leave one person on each side of us, and then that ended up getting filled. And we saw it on a big screen.
Yeah.
And it's shot in VistaVision.
Yes.
I don't know if you know what that means. I just learned this. It goes
horizontally
horizontal through the camera. Supposedly gives you more detail and more depth of field.
Depth of field detail.
A lot of close-up face shots in this one.
Yes.
Especially of Sean Penn's craggy old face.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, and all his little
why don't you give us a little synopsis?
Well, okay, so this movie is based on a Thomas Pynchon novel.
Loosely based.
Well, it says it's inspired by.
So, yeah.
So it's like even farther away from it originally. But anyway, so basically it's based on a book called Vineland. And it's basically about some revolutionaries / terrorists, however you want to look at them, here in the United States.
Homegrown.
Yep, here in the United States that are battling against the incarceration of
seems very
illegals.
prescient. It looked very prescient.
Yeah, but
although
it's
we don't know when it's taking place.
Yeah, they never give you a date.
I mean,
and it was funny.
It seems like we end up in the present, so
or close
15
to
years
it.
earlier.
Yeah. So, but basically the idea is this is an America that's maybe 5 or 6 degrees to the right of where we are right now.
Right.
I don't think it's that far off.
Not that far off at all.
Honestly. But this was a movie that he's literally been trying to get made for like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
So I don't think it's one of those things where like 18 months ago he sat down and wrote this screenplay to talk about certain issues.
He said he wanted to make a movie about what happens when revolutionaries scatter.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk about it, but there's 5 films he said you should watch before you see this. Have you seen these? Have you seen this list?
I have not seen the list, but I can tell you that one of the...
I'll read the list.
You read the list.
Okay. Number 1, The Battle of Algiers.
Seen it.
Okay, that's about revolutionaries in France?
In Algeria.
Okay.
It's about the revolution in Algeria that eventually France left. And that's why some people... The movie The Day of the Jackal, you know how they're trying to kill de Gaulle?
Yeah.
They're trying to kill de Gaulle because the army hated de Gaulle for pulling out of Algeria.
Okay, well, that movie was a fictionalized version of that thing, but it looked like a documentary.
Yeah.
Okay, and actually, Bob is watching this.
He's watching it in the movie.
Yeah,
I got a nice.
Okay,
laugh
that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
2, Midnight Run. I'll explain these as
Midnight Run or Midnight Express.
Midnight Run.
Really?
With De Niro and Grodin. I'll explain why.
Yeah. Okay.
The French Connection.
Yep.
The Searchers.
Yeah.
Also shot in VistaVision.
Yes.
By John Ford.
By John Ford.
Yeah. And Running on Empty. You know what that movie is?
Oh, yeah. It's the River Phoenix one.
River Phoenix, where his revolutionary parents have to hide. And it's about moving their kids all around. And you can see each one of these films in this film. You can see the DNA of every one of these. Now, Midnight Run is the most interesting.
Yeah.
Because he raves about that film being a comedy, an action film that's got some weight to it, as well as the comedic. Obviously, the comedic thing between De Niro and Grodin is
just wonderful.
Off the rails.
Yeah, those guys are great.
So you can see that with DiCaprio and Benicio del Toro, who was another one fantastic in this film. He never disappoints, that guy.
He
never disappoints.
Well, it's funny because I saw him in the Phoenician Scheme, the new Wes Anderson months ago. Yeah. My least favorite Wes Anderson movie of all time. But he was still solid. He's still Benicio del Toro.
He's always solid. He does his thing. Okay, so back to the plot.
Yeah.
So these revolutionaries are wreaking havoc.
Well, they're doing a lot of the old school revolutionary stuff that used to happen in the 70s.
Yeah.
We're going to call in the bomb threat and let everybody know. Because one of the things about the movie is you see, especially during that bank robbery scene, when they actually kill somebody, they're pretty horrified at what they just did.
Right.
And kind of all their bravado, especially from kind of the woman who's literally walking across the thing and talking, Jungle Pussy. Great name.
Great.
A lot of these names are straight out of the book. I've read a couple of Thomas Pynchon novels, and they have this kind of... He does a lot with the names where they seem... On the one hand, they seem ridiculously obvious, but it kind of just ups the kind of like dark humor and comicness of it.
Have you seen not the Enforcer, the second Magnum Force? Have you seen Magnum Force?
Oh, yeah. The second...
These revolutionaries are like those guys. If you remember those guys who took over Alcatraz, was that... No, it's the Enforcer. I'm sorry, the third one with Tyne Daly.
Right, I have not seen that one.
These revolutionaries are like those. So
yes.
There's a 15-year gap. So what happens is the bank robbery happened. Well, we forgot DiCaprio and the main
main
woman,
lady, she's Perfidia Beverly Hills.
And
they're in a relationship.
They're in a relationship. They're in love. But there's a scene that happens where they take over this base, and
Yes.
she sexually, basically intimidates Sean Penn's character, who's this sergeant. I don't know what
He's
in the Army.
Captain
He's
Lockjaw.
running. Captain Lockjaw is
At that
running
point.
this encampment.
Yeah.
And she basically sexually seduces him.
Yeah.
And he's walking around with a boner
Yeah.
that she makes him. That
Yeah.
she gives him. She makes him give it to himself.
Right. Mhm.
And it becomes the relationship in the film where he falls in love. Whatever.
Yeah, he becomes
it's a weird.
obsessed with her.
obsessed with her.
He becomes obsessed because she has kind of dominated him in a way
Right.
that he didn't know that maybe he wanted to be dominated. You know,
by
we
a
don't.
black woman.
Yes, and we don't know. We don't know. He's so tightly locked down, and he so doesn't talk that we're not sure about a lot of this. But basically, the idea is that she takes over his little encampment of
Migrants.
illegal migrants. There's no other way to put it.
Look like.
And she kind of like dominates him in a way that he obviously found in some way exciting.
Oh, it definitely aroused him.
Yeah, at least we can at least say exciting, if not, whatever. But so this guy, he becomes obsessed with her and he becomes interested in her. She gets pregnant.
Well, okay. Yes,
Right.
They have some hookup.
They
and
hook
I
up
don't
at
remember
one
the
point.
timeline because
Right.
the bank robbery after
That was after the hookup.
Okay.
Because the bank robbery happened. So what happens basically is she gets pregnant. Now she is with Ghetto Pat, who's the bomber played by DiCaprio. And then at some point she steps out on him. And
Well, he catches. Okay, Sean Penn's character, Lockjaw, catches her planting a bomb
Yes.
because he's following her.
Right,
He's
yeah.
he's following her. He's stalking her, and he catches her before she plants his bomb in this building. Now he's got her. That's where they have that weird sexual encounter.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then
Okay.
she has the bank robbery. She kills that guard.
But that's post pregnancy.
That's post
birth.
birth. That was post birth.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was post birth.
Okay, anyway.
Because she basically has the baby.
But she's with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, they're
She's
together.
with
Like I
Ghetto.
said, she steps out on him.
Right. So they have a baby together.
They have a baby together. Leo, he starts becoming daddy material.
Right, he's done. He's done.
He's like, this
He
is
was
our
the
child.
bomber, by the way. He was the
He's
bomber.
the bombing expert. And they're like, we're a family now. And she kind of does this great moment where she's like, this is just a way for you to try to control me and blah, blah, blah. And so she just splits. And in truth, she probably I think she kind of likes that life of a revolutionary.
Definitely. She didn't want, well, she also had postpartum depression.
Yes, that's
She
true.
was jealous of her child.
Yeah.
And the relationship that he had with her child.
Yeah, yeah.
Then they have the bank robbery.
Right.
That's the timeline.
Where they actually kill
kill a guard.
Okay, kill a security guard.
And then she gets caught.
She gets caught.
Now she's in the hospital. Mm-hmm. Sean Penn comes to her. I'll get you out of this, but you need to name names.
And so she
And
basically...
she does.
She does. She rats out the whole
crew.
cadre.
So now this cadre of revolutionaries have to scatter.
The French 75.
The French 75. Oh, by the way, I want to mention that because normally Maria, when she does these shows, she creates a drink for the show. Turns out we did Casablanca, and the drink she... By the way, look back at that. Please subscribe check that one out.
Yeah, it's a good one.
For Casablanca, she created the French 75.
The French 75, yeah.
So we're like watching this movie, and she's like, wow, that's the same drink I made.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So the French 75 scatter to the four winds.
Yep.
And now they have rendezvous places. They have... Leonardo DiCaprio was given these what do you call them?
They look like beepers.
Beepers.
Yeah.
That he's going to give to his daughter has to carry all the time.
Yep.
They harmonic. If they're close, if they're within 200 yards, they start beeping to each other so he can find her all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, they scatter because they've been ratted out. And slowly but surely, everybody's getting captured. All these revolutionaries are getting rounded up. Some of them are fighting as best they can, but the government is really... The guy playing the interrogator, I don't know who he was.
It's funny. I actually looked him up, and of course now I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
He was fantastic.
Amazing. I mean, he really...
Fantastic.
He was exactly the devil he needed to be, but you also knew he was really good at his job.
Yeah.
So he gets all these people to kind of, report on all these revolutionaries. Now, in the meantime... Leonardo DiCaprio is now named Bob.
Yep.
His growing up with this daughter that he has. The wife left. Her mother left.
Yep.
Then Now, you know, in the back of your mind, you know that this baby is probably Sean Penn's baby.
You know that's at least going to be a story point.
Well, once that got pulled out, you go, oh, it's obvious.
Yeah.
It's obvious. But anyway, DiCaprio's character is he's living a life with her. Now, he has given up the revolutionary. He's just getting high and drunk. Mm-hmm. He's completely oblivious to everything going on. He's very protective of his daughter. He understands the position she's in.
Yep.
She's taking judo classes or self-defense classes from Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, which
in this town, in this small little town that they're in.
And they keep calling it a sanctuary city.
Right.
And which is a kind of an interesting point. So basically he's kind of in the middle of nowhere, probably Oregon or Seattle,
I think it's California, but
but northern,
yeah,
kind of in that weird space.
Yeah.
Long story short is he is out to pasture,
right,
and he is out there and he is living on his own,
high as a kite, very protective of his daughter and her friends, and
doesn't let her have a cell phone.
Right.
Kind of thing. He doesn't want her to be able to be tracked and anything like that. And it's funny, there's a moment there when he is leaving and he's talking to this one guy who's like the electronics and communications expert, who he comes back later. He's like, yeah, use the old cell phones. Use the 1G phones. They don't monitor those networks anymore.
He was good. He ended up getting captured. And they had his sister.
It's one of those things where, and it is funny, these interrogation scenes are so harrowing because it's like most of these things, you know, the individual doesn't care about their own life. They're like, I'm not afraid of you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, the guy's like, well, what about your sister?
You afraid of your sister's life?
Yeah. And that's oftentimes we see in these movies how a person ends up turning.
Well, it just shows the power of the government too.
Well, yeah, or the power of people willing to hit the power of people who are willing to hurt other innocent people. Yeah. I mean, whether it's this happens all the time in crime movies, and whether it's war movies or whatever. It's like, oh, you're not going to give away what we want to know. Well, maybe we'll go find your completely innocent nephew, and it's like that line in The Usual Suspects. He may only castrate Mr. So and so's nephew or something like that.
Right.
And you're like, oh my god, that's horrible.
Family involved.
Yeah.
So long story short, it turns out there's a whole side thing where Lockjaw wants to join the secret society called Christian Adventures.
The Christmas Adventurers Club.
Now it's a white supremacy underground club.
Yep.
Fully powerful guys and guys in the administration you can see.
But
Hail Saint Nick.
Yeah, it's
very strange, but definitely all about purity of race and these guys. So he wants to join. He wants to get into this society,
and they're willing to let him in, even though he is not a man of means. He's a military guy. By this time, he is a colonel, and he has basically, since his incident with Perfidia, he has spent the last 15 years hunting down illegal immigrants and basically being the dog of the government. And I think what they want him for is he is the guy who can get his hands dirty. He is the guy that will do these terrible things.
Well, I mean, he's got people that will take care of the work for him.
Yeah, and plus also at the time is at once Colonel's a weird rank, right? It's as high as you can be without being a general, right? So, but yet you're still on the ground, you're still more involved in the day-to-day operations of things. So, but yet you still have a significant amount of power, right, to order people around, and people are going to take your orders. So the idea of having a colonel whose job is already to go out and root out these, elements that people don't like, it's like having your own little portion of the army that will do a lot for you. And that's why I think they want him in Christmas Adventures
but he has to go through a whole testing process to see how pure he is. And one of the questions they asked is if you had any relations with race relations. Have you had any...
With a non-white.
With a non-white. And he says, of course not.
No,
of course not. So that sets up the rest of the film, which is now he's got to hunt his daughter down.
Yeah.
And they're using the guise of finding all these revolutionaries. He's got to go determine, because he's carrying that case around. I had no idea what that case was until he's got to determine whether she's his daughter or not. If she is, he's going to kill her.
Yep.
Because he's got to get rid of that because he wants to join this crew.
Right.
In the meantime, you're meeting all these other douchebags in the crew as well, including the guy with the Lacoste, Lacoste, you know, the Lacoste, what do you call it? Lacoste.
The Izod Lacoste.
First he comes in with a Patagonia.
Yep.
With his New Balance dad sneakers, right?
Yeah.
Completely.
So like traditionally,
but such a racist pig.
upper middle class white guy
comes in, sees the wife, love your pancakes, goes down into this room, and then he's just talking about racial purity and this guy. And we can trust him a little bit, but we're not sure he's Anyway, but so Lockjaw's trying to get into society. Now he's got this mission.
He's got to clean up.
He's got to clean up this mess that he's created.
He's got to clean up his past to get in.
I don't think DiCaprio knows that his daughter is not from him. I don't think it matters.
Doesn't.
He doesn't. I don't think it matters. But now this whole movie is they've got to hunt this girl down.
Yeah.
And they're using the guise of going after the revolutionaries.
Yeah. And also on top of that, what happens is when they go into this sanctuary city, right, is they start saying that everything from the finger-licking chicken hut to the guys in the factory, and they even invade the school prom. Maybe it's not a prom, but the homecoming dance or something, right?
And they go out, they interrogate her friends.
Yes, which is
And it turns out she did have a secret cell phone her dad didn't know about. So one of the kids gave her up.
Yeah.
Because the pressure was ridiculous.
I mean, it's,
you don't blame them for what,
well, especially like the kid that eventually, or the one that they show turning is like, they make a point of saying earlier in the movie that this person is non-binary.
Right.
Right. They're a non-binary person. So you got to figure that this person's already kind of under the microscope and has a lot of pressure on them. So they end up saying, hey, it's in my phone under Hello Kitty, her phone number. And then the phone begins to ring, and the woman who comes to show,
there was a woman, Regina Hall, plays one of the revolutionaries who goes in there, pulls her out of the high school before she gets searched.
Right. She has
and there's a code that they have to, there's a something they say, so the daughter knows. The daughter knows this. Yeah. She repeats back, and she realizes, okay, if this is the person, you trust them with your life, and she goes out with her.
Yeah, and
she brings her to this crazy nunnery with all these
well, the funny thing is
growing nuns.
That thing that they keep saying back to each other about how Green Acres, the Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be, I forget what the callback is, but it's funny because that's one part of Gil Scott-Heron's famous spoken word album, "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised." That is from that.
Okay.
So, which is
he's pulling from everywhere.
Yeah, he's pulling from all these kind of different ideas and stuff. And obviously, "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised" is like probably one of the most famous spoken word albums or spoken word anything. At least of the 20th century, we'll go there. I don't know how many people remember it now, but it was funny because when he had said that, I was like, that sounds really familiar.
That's interesting.
And then as the credits play, he does the whole thing, and I was like, I was a little mad at myself for not remembering that right away.
Smarter than I am. So now it becomes a dual chase movie practically because the daughter is involved in a chase, and now Bob, Leonardo DiCaprio, is now get to find his daughter.
Yeah.
And he teams up with Benicio del Toro's character, Sensei, and gets involved. And the thing about Benicio, he's so enigmatic. And, you can't tell in this film whether he's a good guy or a bad guy. He's just awesome.
But what's so great about him is
so many little touches that they had with him.
What I love about his character in this film is...
So they team up, and he helps him. He helps Bob get out of town.
But the funny thing is he's helping everybody. He has this whole... He's like helping
railroad for migrants.
Yes, exactly. He has this whole thing going on, and I love the just all of the scenes where he's like, yeah, Bob, I'm going to help you, but relax. Here's a friend. Here's this
peace,
guy.
Fear, no fear. Fear is peace. Whatever,
exactly.
I forget what he said.
And,
freedom or whatever.
Yeah, freedom from fear.
My favorite thing is that hallway scene where all the migrants are going down, and the last thing you see is DiCaprio go, "Viva la revolution!" and Benicio goes, okay, and he closes the lid, and then the carpet rolls.
Yeah, carpet rolls out.
And then the next time he gets him, he finds him because DiCaprio ended up there's a riot happening.
Well,
DiCaprio gets tased.
Yeah. Well,
ends up in prison.
Well,
they don't know who he is. They don't know who they've got.
I know. He's following these. What's great is also it's that scene where he's following these younger skater dudes who are obviously in their late teens, early 20s, who are just like super agile and they're parkouring all over the place. And 50-year-old DiCaprio's like huffing and puffing, and he tries to jump over this one alley.
Over an alley.
And he misses. And he falls.
Luckily,
thankfully, there was a tree, falls through the tree. And then, he gets tased. And what I thought was great was just the way that, like, so, and we'll get into this in a minute about, like, he can't remember any of the passwords, right? But how he falls into this instant thing where he starts acting so strange. He starts acting so weird as a way to possibly throw off the people who just
what's your
tased
name?
him.
Batman.
Yeah. And he
Peter Parker.
Yeah. And he starts giving all these crazy names. And he starts acting really weird. And then it turns out that there are some people in the hospital that are friendly to this.
Right.
You know, the woman at the admission, and then
was
another
good.
and the nurse.
She was good.
And they help him out.
They help him escape.
Yeah. And and I do want to just talk about, because this is probably the funniest part of the whole movie. There's a lot of humor in this film, by the way.
Oh, my. Okay, that's what I mean. It's Midnight Run.
Yeah, there is a ton of humor.
yeah.
But just the whole bit of him trying to figure it out. Anybody who's ever been on hold with customer service that has been less than helpful to you, you understand what he's going through, except it's totally hyped because he's just trying to find
he's on the phone. There's a number he can call.
He remembers the number. This like revolutionary hotline or whatever.
That'll help him escape.
Yeah, and he has to give the passcode. He has to,
What's the time?
What's the time?
He doesn't remember what he's supposed to say.
It.
What was the line he's supposed to say?
It had something to do with time not existing,
right,
or something like that.
Yeah. So he's having having this argument with this
guy,
and the guy is completely woke. You're being very aggressive.
You're aggressing me and all this kind of stuff. I know and it's funny too because and so then like eventually he pulls it out and he lucks out, and the guy who is the manager of the call center
knew who he was.
Is this old buddy, and he's like,
that's you.
He's like,
no matter what that, yeah.
He's like, you're gonna remember this. He's like, what's my favorite kind of pussy? And he's like, Mexican hairless. and
then he gets mad at the guy on the phone, who's an old dude. He's not even. He's not even
some young kid. He's this really old dude. It was just. It's a great.
And he had to apologize.
Yeah, I know. It's just a great sequence.
Yeah, it's stuff like that just.
And it's funny all the way. It's amazing how much humor is in this film, and it's really, and it's funny because like I've seen so much online about how woke this film is.
Come on.
And it's all, it's a liberal wet dream, and it's their fantasy, and it's a woke fantasy, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like,
where's the fantasy? What am I fantasizing about?
I don't even know like what they were talking about as being
because
fantasy.
the Christian Christmas guys are still out there.
I know, and
all the white supremacists that they have people killed are still out there. I don't understand where the wet dream is.
I think they want to think that liberals wish that they were like these revolutionaries and holding up banks and doing all this stuff. But the funny thing about that is but there's also a lot of like in this movie, there is a lot of, they do take a look at that side of things, and it's pretty negative.
Oh no, they all ratted even Regina Hall.
I know,
who's protecting the girl ends up ratting her out.
Yeah, because
they got something on her or family or whatever. That interrogator,
the guy who plays the interrogator, and I cannot believe he's only been in like one other thing.
Really,
I literally looked him up, and he was in some TV show like a couple of years ago for a couple of seasons. But this guy.
Yeah, he was
because you have Sean Penn, who has like
we'll talk about that's a whole separate.
Right, he's like the physical menace. This guy is like the psychological menace as he's interrogating these people, and basically he says to Regina Hall, he's like, "Look, you're basically going to spend the rest of your life behind bars, but I won't kill you."
Right.
Right. And he's like, "I won't have you killed if you tell us what we need to know." Yeah. Plus, at that point, she's already kind of like they've already caught the girl.
Yeah. They caught the girl because of her.
Well, yeah, because
she ratted out the nuns.
Well, no, they caught the girl because they caught.
She goes. Shh, remember, she walks out of that room. Shh.
Yeah, they were already there,
right? Because of her.
No, because of the girl and her cell phone.
I don't know.
See
that? I think Regina Hall.
I don't think Regina Hall ratted anybody. I think she was a true believer.
Why did she whisper and go out of there? Oh, because she
thought she heard something going on, and then she's like, "Wait a minute, something's going down."
So he ends up catching her.
So he ends up
Sean Penn. Lockjaw catches her.
He catches
her.
There's
that whole brilliant scene.
Oh God.
Where the two of them and like I said, this woman Chase Infinity. It's fantastic.
Great. It's so funny because her real name, sounds like it should be a character in this movie.
Totally.
You know?
So they have this he's like doing the DNA test, and
Yeah.
if you're my daughter, you're dead.
Yeah.
And he's the thing, because he's wearing that really tight black T-shirt.
It's like skin.
And I'm thinking that T-shirt is super tight. And she actually says, "Why is your T-shirt so tight? You think I'm a gay? You think I'm gay because my T-shirt, right?" And he's just all offended by what she said.
know.
I mean, he was so repressed and so everything.
Uptight.
His lip is quivering. The close-ups on him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about this Vista Vision. The close-ups on him were just crazy. If Sean Penn doesn't get an Oscar for this, I don't know what the hell.
And I heard somebody say this, and I can't take credit for this, but some guy said this, and he's like, he was talking about Sean Penn's walk. He's like, he's an action figure that doesn't have enough points of articulation.
He really gets
because it was so like straight and like locked.
Yeah.
And so,
but the one that got me is a scene in the elevator where he's meeting the Christmas, and he takes the comb out of his pocket and he licks the comb and then wipes his hands.
He like straightens his hair.
I mean, this is like, I mean,
it is, it is so crazy. And it is.
Has he been in another Paul Thomas Anderson films?
I'm not
His
sure.
brother was Michael Penn was in Boogie Nights. He played
really?
He played the record producer that they tried to do. That's Michael Penn. I think that's Sean Penn's brother.
I don't know.
I don't. Anyway, Sean Penn, amazing
in the film.
So there's a scene where they're doing the DNA. He's doing the DNA test, and it turns out.
Surprise.
She's the daughter.
She's the daughter.
So now it's a chase. He is now got to take her. He's going to bring her to somebody to have her killed.
Yep.
While Bob, her father, Leonardo DiCaprio, is trying to find her.
It's
this dual chase scene. That's where the French Connection comes in.
Oh yeah.
There's that scene in the
on the ups and downs.
The ups and downs, like the camera was on the bumper. I don't know what the hell.
It was really well done. It was
like
almost
being on a roller coaster. It was it was very disorienting.
It was, and it was really great. And one of the things I loved about this film, and some people might not like this part of it because they might say, "Oh, that's woke," and I would say, "Go fuck yourself."
Fuck the woke shit.
But the idea that she saves herself.
Yes.
Like I love that. And super
she was
spoiler
shoot her
here.
dad.
Like, yeah, I thought that might happen too.
He didn't know the password.
Because he didn't know the goddamn password about Hooterville Junction, right? And funny enough, I still can't remember the other.
I can't.
Will not be as.
I would never.
Anyway.
I would never.
Yeah.
I'd be dead.
Long story short, though, she saves herself. She basically, this guy.
Well, so there's an enforcer that's involved throughout this film who has been capturing people. And I think he's a Native American.
Yes.
So this is the guy with the Lacoste shirt was saying, okay, we got this guy. He's not really a purebred, but we think he's on our side. He's a good.
Yeah, but we can't trust him fully.
Can't trust him fully. Well, it turns out he was right.
He was right.
Because he ended up dropping her off at this white supremacist to get rid of her. And then he, for some reason, had a change of heart, thank goodness. And he decides to kill everybody in that place.
And he dies
and he dies in the process, but she gets away. Now it's a chase scene between her and
Sean
Lacoste.
Penn.
Yeah.
And then the Lacoste guy who's also there to kill Sean Penn.
Sean Penn, right. He's been charged to go get him.
Basically, they're like, we got to get rid of this guy. He lied to us. And that's the big thing.
They found some paperwork that popped up.
You know what's kind of funny about that whole thing, too? Is that Tony Goldwyn, who's perfect as the leader of the Christmas Adventure
He's the guy that killed Patrick Swayze in Ghost.
I know.
Had him killed in Ghost.
But Tony Goldwyn...
You know the other guy was at that
Jewish.
table? You know the other guy was at... He is?
I'm pretty sure he's Jewish. I'm not
D.W. Moffat was the guy on the right that was giving him all the details. Heavy set. I mean, that guy is skinny as a rail mostly. And then Teague was the guy that was just kind of the big guy in the wheelchair. That group was creepy as F.
Shit, yeah.
Right?
Those guys were,
and Hail St. Nick and all this shit.
And that's all straight, that is so, I'm sure that if you took the time to read Vineland, that's straight out of that book. It just has, I've read, like I said, I've read 2 of his novels. And it just has that kind of it has that flavor about it. It's both ridiculous and scary at the same time, a little on the nose, but yet at the same time
I think it's
frightening.
Probably pretty on the nose.
But it's frightening.
Being a liberal, wet dream. I think these people actually exist.
Well,
But okay, so they have the dual chase scene now. So Bob is trying to find his daughter. The daughter's trying to get away. The daughter saves herself. She ends up killing Lacoste guy.
What she does is because they're going through all these
the
hills,
the hills.
and
They
she
set it
just
up beautifully. It's set
yeah,
up
she
beautifully.
and she's gunning it through there, and she's like
well. So we've also learned that she's well trained with guns.
yeah,
like her mother was,
obviously,
and self-defense.
What do you call it? Obviously, Bob was doing some stuff. He was not only just smoking pot and drinking.
He was training her well.
And so what happens is she literally stops the car on the downslope of one of these hills that you cannot see over. The guy's flying after her at 80 miles an hour, slams right into the back of her. And when he gets out of the car, because she had taken one of this tracker's guns, she just, with her hands still, by the way, tied together, she just pops this guy like 4 times.
Well, she asked him the code. Dude, what's the password? He's like, huh? Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, Bob shows up, and she's asking him, what's the password?
What's the password?
He didn't know it.
No, he did not know the... He finally was able to remember it.
But you're right. So this guy, before he found her, rides up next to Sean Penn and blasts him with a shotgun.
Right.
Sean Penn's truck ends up in a ditch.
Over the side, rolls.
Gone.
Yeah.
You're like, he's done. Even Bob, Leonardo DiCaprio, goes down there. Can't find his daughter. He's dead.
Yeah.
Turns out, not so dead.
He's not dead. He's like...
So one of the scenes is after Bob she saves Bob, and it's now Sean Penn walking down the highway with that walk you're talking about. That
super
stiff, and it's all bloody. He survived. And the movie ends with him in the office of the Christmas
Adventurers Club,
and they go, "You got it. You're in." And now as the viewer, he's not in.
No, he's not in. They're not going to let this go.
He's so happy. They go and here's your office.
Let me show us your
room
office.
55.
Yeah.
Sit down. Hey, you know what? I left my keys in the hall. I'll be right back. And he closes the door.
And the moment when he closes the door,
come on, before that,
I know.
I didn't know
but
whether
the
to throw him out.
the ambient sound stops, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh wow, this room is sealed.
Yes.
You get
It's a
a great
chamber.
bit of Foley, where the sound effects. This is a sealed room,
Right.
And so, they gas him.
He's gone.
And then they get rid of him
Because he was, they knew.
And then they cut to the final scene in the film is DiCaprio talking to his daughter, and she is like, hey, I'm going to drive down here to this protest 3 hours away.
Well, she was getting a radio, ham radio, you know what got me? The letter that he gave her.
Oh, yes, yeah.
From the mother. She finally wrote a letter, I guess. I don't know when that letter was written.
Yeah, neither do I.
Because once she went away, I thought she was going to come back, but she never came back.
She never comes back. Yeah,
And it was a tear. I bawled. It was being a father, and the way she read the letter. She put the letter down, and she goes over and she hugs her dad.
I know.
And it was like, oh,
it's
my
great.
God. And then she ends up, she's a revolutionary.
Yeah,
she's a, what do you call him? Revolutionary.
A revolutionary, yeah.
A revolutionary?
Yeah.
She's what do you call a revolution?
You're a revolutionary.
Oh, a revolutionary. Yeah.
Right,
okay,
yeah. Well, and it's like what I mean by like...
Because all liberals, that's what we want to be.
Yeah.
Let's be woke. Let's be
well, it's funny. It's one
Viva
of those...
la resistance.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like...
Bullshit.
And it's so funny, too, because it's like, I see all these guys online, and they're... and I shouldn't say all these guys. There have been plenty of people that have said this movie's a masterpiece, and it's genius.
It is a masterpiece.
And I really... And it's funny. It's one of those things. I don't like to make comments like this. I've never been the biggest Paul Thomas Anderson fan. I like his movies. Yeah. I enjoy them. Yeah. I think they're excellently made films. But this may be my favorite. I may have to see it again to get the vibe. Like Licorice Pizza, I thought was okay.
I didn't see it. Boogie Nights is still
Boogie Nights was great. I really like it. I think it's an excellent film.
Of that film. The energy and the ups and downs in that film.
But this movie, I really did enjoy.
This is up there. This is it's 1 and 1A.
Yeah.
And there will be blood. I gotta say, maybe there will be blood's the top.
There will be blood in
that
this.
Movie is
the two that I really think of as like his.
Yeah, okay.
His really
I changed my.
films,
if I'm gonna pick the film that is the best, it's There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, There Will Be Blood.
That has to do with all the acting in that one too.
Mm-hmm. But
this is good. This is well done. Yeah. This is
one of the things I think,
and based on the 5 films that he's talking about
there,
you can see that what he's doing.
Yeah,
you can see that.
And it's funny. One of the things that really got me is that, so not quite 20 years ago now, but like 18 years ago. There was a German film called The Baader-Meinhof Complex. It was nominated for, best foreign film or whatever. And it's about a real group of what they called Red Army faction. These were far left liberals in West Germany who were shooting and robbing banks and shooting people and blowing things up because they felt that their government was becoming too fascist, right? So it's one of those things. So I couldn't help but think about that movie. And I actually, I've read up on that group a lot and everything. And the funny thing is like, I did see somebody talking about how, how could this guy evade the United States government for 16 years? True story. One of those, there's still like 3 of these Baader-Meinhof people on the run. One of them got caught in early 2024. She was like 65. And apparently she had been maintaining her lifestyle, or, it was a low-key lifestyle, by, robbing grocery stores and armored cars. So, like, this person had been on the run for literally 30 years. Her 2 other cohorts are still on the run. Yeah. So it's not like that was unbelievable.
I mean, I think that's why he talked about running on empty, which is you're always looking over your shoulder. And the idea that they're hiding and they're like cockroaches. They really are. They're going to get, eventually they're probably going to get caught. Mm-hmm. The government never gives up because they're so powerful.
Oh, no. It is one of those things where, you're going to get, you can disappear for a long time, but you will probably eventually get caught. Yeah. But it's not impossible,
But this film had so many, like you talk about the relationship with Lockjaw and Beverly Hills, the black-white thing, and why was he so fascinated by it, and what does that mean? What does it actually mean? Because he was obsessed with her. Well, was it her? And he talked about her angular features and her.
I will say this. I am going to throw this. There is a shot of her in profile at the very beginning of this movie, and her jawline is strikingly strong and sharp. Like noticeably, like notice it.
Yeah, she was
and she's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
So it is, but I think it is one of those things where you have this guy who's this career military guy, strength and all this has been
Imagine
a huge.
How pent up that dude is.
I know, but like that's what I'm saying. It's like his whole being strong and being tough and all this is so part of it. And all of a sudden he meets this woman who, even though that she is on the political opposite of him, the polar opposite, she is every bit a warrior and strong as he is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's where he suddenly gets this. She's the complete opposite. She's the polar opposite of him. But at the same time, he sees in her this strength that he has and that he can't help but admire.
Yeah, he did. But he wanted to get into that other thing so bad that he was willing to murder his own daughter.
I know.
I mean, that just shows his psychological makeup.
Yeah, I mean,
Sean Penn,
just
again,
so good.
I can't
imagine
talk about it enough how good.
Yeah, he's going to get nominated, period.
It was so funny. My daughter saw this. She doesn't know who Sean Penn is, right? She doesn't.
Okay.
She goes, there's this guy who was really evil. I think you probably know who he is, but I don't know. It's like, holy.
It's Jeff Spicoli.
Yeah, I know, but they don't know that.
I know.
And he's just so, like, his mannerisms, his facial features, his tics that are happening. He's got these tics.
The mouth tics.
His eyes, and his eyes are twitching and stuff he's doing.
Great.
It's brilliant. But you got him, you got DiCaprio, who's always good. And as much as I've come to like him
Me too.
more as he gets older. Departed and some of the other stuff he's doing. The Revenant, that's sort of a gimmick thing. I didn't care about that. And he won the Oscar for that.
I've actually never seen The Revenant.
Really? I did. He gets raped by a bear. I mean, he gets mauled by a bear. It's insane. But it's like, okay. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he's very vulnerable in that one. He was great.
Love that movie.
But it's Benicio del Toro.
He's so good.
And Sean Penn, who just knock it out of the park. And that scene at the end where the DUI stop.
It's the last
time.
Well,
he does two things. As he's taking Bob out.
Yeah.
Escaping with him. Mm-hmm. He takes a selfie with him.
Oh yeah.
Because he knows who this guy is. He knows he's a revolutionary. He's like, I'm with this guy. And then Del Toro has to jump because the cops are coming.
Yeah.
Because he saw them drinking, right? He was drinking in the car. He's drinking the whole movie. So now he's got to jump out of the car. At the end of the movie, they show Del Toro on this DUI stop, and they go, "What'd you throw out?" He goes, "I threw out garbage."
Just garbage, trash.
Just trash. Yeah. And it's like, okay, he really understood Bob.
Yeah.
Really understood Bob. And then he does that dance.
And I love that part. Have you been drinking? I've had a few.
I mean, it's like, So, all right.
You know, especially when you consider in that situation, he's like all of the illegal shit he's obviously doing by helping out these people, obviously against the law. A DUI is a minor problem.
He was so. I mean, that's what I mean.
So
and that's
good.
again, that's the Midnight Run, where you've got this completely dramatic stuff going on, and they're able to wrestle comedy out of it.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. And and all the other stuff, the French Connection with the chases, and even the way Gene Hackman was in that versus Bob and all these people in here. One quick scene I want to talk about is the scene where the radio operator guy, the guy who gave him all the plans.
Yeah.
He's doing some podcast, or he's constantly on the radio. And there's a scene where they come in, they get him. They put a black bag over his head and they grab him. And you see these two Mexican kids, Spanish kids, just hanging out. Nobody's paying attention to them. And as they pull away, those two kids
go in there and send out
the message, because he set this whole thing up, and nobody's looking at these kids. They don't mean anything, and tick, 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 tick. They're sending out the message.
Yeah, they're sending out the SOS.
Yeah,
that he's been compromised.
It's little things. It's not. Those aren't little things. Those are big things in this film that he put in that just shows his brilliance. And so anyway, I think it's a masterpiece.
It's a great film, and I really am trying to figure out when I can get back to see it again.
Yeah.
I
have a friend at work who's seen it twice already, wants to go a third time.
I believe it.
I think so, too, because now you can really kind of pay attention
now
to
I can pay attention to all the other things that are going on, because I'm not so... And I often find a second viewing, I often find it more rewarding.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can kind of see all the other little things.
You see things coming that you didn't...
Because this movie basically starts, and it doesn't really slow down. There's not a lot of, breathing time in the film.
It's 2.5, almost
240?
240, and it doesn't feel like that at all.
And it was funny, too. I know that it's one of those crazy things. I had, I had my gigantic Coca-Cola there, and I was like, I'm probably going to have to slip out of here at some point. I never did.
Slip. Where are you going to slip?
I was like, it's one of those movies where it's like, there's no downtime.
And then he pulls American Girl when she's driving away. You're talking about bawling. I mean, I was like, okay, because, Silence of the Lambs has that song, too.
Oh, yeah.
And making a statement there, and I'm like, oh, after she hugs her dad, she's going to the next protest, she's doing American Girl. I'm like, oh, you got me, man.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's great. It's really
this is a 10 out of 10 for me. Or what do we do? Rate 5? We do 5.
Yeah, this was a 5.
This is 10 out of 5.
Yeah. I'm not going to break the laws of physics, and I'm just going to go 5 out of 5 on this one. But I really did it. It's probably, and here's the crazy thing, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's better than There Will Be Blood. I don't think you But I'm going to go this far, and I'm going to say I enjoyed it more than There Will Be Blood.
Oh, yeah. There Will Be Blood's that's a hard watch.
Yeah. It's not a fun movie.
No. It's not fun at all.
I mean, I know we've made a lot of jokes about I drink your milkshake at this point.
It's not fun at all.
But it's not really fun while it's going on.
No. This one is fun.
There's a lot
and prescient.
Yeah.
It's like that opening scene. It's like, what is...
Well, I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with the idea that, it's... And obviously he's made changes to the script and everything from when he originally wrote it or started putting it together 20 years ago. But the fact of the matter is that, I mean, like I said, I feel like they're showing and you're never sure of the timeline. And I kept trying to look at the cars. Yeah, it feels like it starts out in the 90s, but then I
think it is the
15 years later, they've got the newest iPhones.
Yeah, so I'm saying. So I think it's 90s. I think it is the 90s when it starts.
But then they would all have iPhone 1s. Don't I mean?
No.
Like I said, it's
in the 90s.
No. 15 years later.
15 years later would be 2005.
Exactly. Well, or even if it's the late 90s.
Yeah, you're right, because the kids all had those were legit iPhones.
Those were like the newest of the new. Yeah.
It
doesn't really matter. But like I said, it's obviously in America that's very closely related to the one we're currently living in, but it's also not the one we're living in
yet.
Maybe yet. Like I said, maybe it's 5 or 6 degrees to the right of where we are.
The 70s, there was the Weather Underground. There was stuff going on. Things are getting complicated.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, and it is funny because actually I saw this thing and they were talking about the 70s and all the militant groups that were out there and how many actual bombings were happening in the United States during the 70s. But because we didn't have this kind of global news network and that everybody was putting things up and you just didn't hear about most of them
Right.
because if it happened in San Francisco, the people in San Francisco knew about it,
Yeah.
not the people in Baltimore,
No,
and vice versa.
It's a different time.
You know,
So,
But,
all right. Well, there you go. One battle after another. I think I would see it again.
I'm like actively trying to see
Searchers.
it again.
The Searchers was the other film.
Yeah.
Vista Vision, obviously, but also the way he shot the desert scenes.
Yeah.
That's the whole wide stuff with little people in the Sean Penn specifically. They always isolated Sean Penn. He was always isolated with people like walking up to him. Nobody really trusted him. I mean, if you look at it, nobody really trusted him.
Yeah, I think he was
the Christmas Adventure guys didn't really trust him. The guy that supposedly was his enforcer didn't really trust him.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys that's like you end up working with, but you're never 100%.
Right, you know what you're dealing with.
Yeah, you never really turn your back on that guy.
He
truly.
was crazy. He was nuts.
Yeah, that's because I mean, that's I think that's why nobody trusted him because it's like this guy's a little off kilter.
Yeah. So, all right, what's the next big film? Anything?
Well, I don't know about the next big films coming out. I mean, I know that hey, Halloween's coming up, so.
You mean the holiday?
The holiday.
Oh, so we should do some horror.
I think some horror films are always fun.
Should we do our little list 5 top?
We could do that, or we could just kind of chat like last time. We just kind of talked about some horror movies that we were both talking about.
Let's do that.
Like, we could
maybe
do that.
get Marie involved.
Yeah.
See if she wants to join us.
Hey, you know what's happening soon? It's actually Jen and I it's a Thursday night. It's like the 17th of October. The Maryland Science Center, which has a real IMAX film.
Right.
They're going to be showing Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween, but for like $20, right? But here's the cool thing. Beforehand, there's going to be an hour happy hour, an hour-long happy hour. Jen and I did one of these before. It's great, man. I mean, they just got canned stuff, but you can go get 3 or 4.
October 17th?
Yeah, get like 3
maybe
beers.
I bowl, but I'll cancel. I'll
that's
skip
right.
a
That's
bowling.
your bowling
That's all right.
night,
I can skip one bowling night.
Well, I don't know if we're going. I got to try to,
Okay.
Jen keeps bringing it up, and I'm like, you don't have to twist my arm to get me there.
All right. Well, let's look at that. All right. So we'll do a horror.
Let's do
we'll
like a horror one
podcast.
next, yeah.
So if you want to see that, let us know. Subscribe, please.
Yeah, just hit the subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe button. And, leave some comments.
Exactly.
Get us over 3,000. That's all we're asking.
Yeah, that's all
we're not asking for much.
Yeah, because, I looked this up because my son, he's a big Mr. Beast fan.
Can you do some shorts for us?
He'll just talk about Mr. Beast.
Okay.
But he was talking about, he kind of sometimes jokes about how we don't have 3,000 yet, and Mr. Beast has like 500 billion or whatever.
Okay, whatever.
And the funny thing is, though, of all of the YouTube channels out there, we're technically in like the top 3%.
Oh, really?
Of channels with subscribers. Most channels have like 3 subscribers.
Okay, that's okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah,
it's good to know. All right, but I wouldn't mind 3, maybe get to 4,000. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know what we got to do.
Yeah.
Except maybe watch
But I mean,
more
I think that
should
includes
watch more
all,
Indian films.
I think that also includes all those people that put up like 2 videos and have never,
right?
Have never really done anything.
Yeah. So, well, we're trying. We're trying. So anyway, all right. So there you go. One battle after another. One film after another. Let's do some
horror movies.
Horror movies for the next one. And that'll be it.
Speaking of which, I love your Halloween decorations, man. You guys are going for it.
People are stepping up. We went to the Poconos 2 weekends ago. Last weekend, I went golfing with my brother-in-law. He met me from Massachusetts when we went halfway.
Oh, nice.
And we ended up in this little town that the golf club was at, the golf course. And it's a town that's totally into Halloween.
Really?
Completely. Like
that's
this
their
was this was middle to late September, and everybody had their stuff out. They have museums down in the town, witch museums and horror things. People are really into. I think Halloween is one of those holidays that it's getting big. There's something about it. It's getting more popular to decorate.
I think you're right, because I mean, I remember even when I was a kid, you put up a little something.
People. Well, I used to I'd set some stuff up, but I got to a point where people just stopped showing up.
Yeah.
COVID did that, but also people just don't want to.
It also depends on the neighborhood.
Of course, I know there are places that are
because
there's lists of places you can go visit that are really if you go down the main street here, people have gone crazy.
Wow.
I mean, I got a bunch of those inflatables. I used to do holograms out my window.
Wow.
I can't do it anymore. It's too much work.
But I mean, like my parents' neighborhood, right? Like they go through these cycles because they've been in that neighborhood since like 1979 or whatever, right? That so when I was a kid, there were a lot of kids. And then there was a period of time where they didn't have anybody coming.
Right.
Like literally my mom was like, we had one trick-or-treater here.
Yeah.
And then there was a need where younger families moved back in. And all they were sudden they were like, yeah, we had like 40 kids come by.
Yeah.
And then, those kids get a little older and then that has disappeared again, So I
don't know what it is about this house. We're on a corner and we get nobody. And I think they don't want to walk up to it. So last year I sat in the driveway to eliminate them having it and still get nobody.
Really?
And it's frustrating because I put, sound effects out there. I'm doing stuff, but
good,
whatever.
Man.
Okay, but we'll do a little Hollywood. We'll have to figure out.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
All right, so there you go. Like and subscribe.
We just have to do it early enough that you can get it out before Halloween.
I will do that. We'll do that.
Well, nothing sucks more than a Halloween
Well, we're
show
almost there. We're getting close. Yeah.
I know.
So we'll get it out. We'll have to get it out next week.
All right.
All right. Cheers. Cheers. One battle, one beer after another.
One beer after another.
All right. All right. I'll see you.